He's not proud of it. I've had numerous conversations with him over the past couple months. He stood up, took responsibility for this case early on. He is here today to beg the court. He's here hat in hand for the court to consider giving him an opportunity at community control and possibly chance to go back into a treatment. There is a bed waiting for him at the Matt Talbot Center in the Cleveland area. While this case has been going on separately, there's been cases out of Cuyahoga County that he's pled to, and through those cases, he was referred to the Matt Talbot Center, and then he's been in our county jail, so he hasn't started his treatment there. But Your Honor, he's got a history of various offenses, but specifically here with forging checks, cashing them for the money. He was doing it in this case. He was doing it in Cuyahoga County. Mr. Brzezinski has a drug problem. I know he told probation in this case that for this matter, he used the money to buy an urn, Your Honor, but he also in the past has used money to purchase drugs. I'm asking the court, these are nonviolent offenses. He is remorseful. Again, he's taking responsibility. I'm asking the court to please consider placing him on a community control sanction, giving him an opportunity to go to Matt Talbot and put the ball in his court, Your Honor. If he doesn't follow through, and I know his history isn't promising. I know he's had probation violations in the past, but if he doesn't...
All right, folks, buckle up. Today we're heading into Judge O'Donnell's courtroom for one of the most jaw-dropping displays of self-sabotage you'll ever see. We've got a repeat offender, a judge with zero tolerance for nonsense, and a scammer whose story changes so often it could have its own spin-off series. And trust me, the ending is pure gold. But here's the twist, all this guy had to do was tell the truth. Instead, he digs himself into a hole so deep, the judge doesn't just bury him, he seals it with concrete. Let's dive in. Asterisk.
Decisions. I was also placed in situations I had no control over and made good decisions. And this one is just another opportunity, Your Honor. I'd like to show you that I can be probationable and I can be monitored. I can succeed, and I will, and I can sober up.
Then why haven't you? If you can do all that, why haven't you done it?
I've still been hanging on to records of my past, in which I've made an attempt, and actually I've cut 2 people out of my life since I've been in this county. Actually, in Cuyahoga also, I haven't contacted the woman I was involved with. I haven't contacted her.
Who's that?
That was Lori Wood.
How'd you get involved in this scam with these checks?
I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, I found a bag on a job site with a checkbook in it.
What job site?
It was I forget where I was at. I think it was like in Middleburg Heights or somewhere, Wycliffe or some. It was a commercial. It was a commercial job site.
Who were you working for?
I was working for Novax at the time.
What's Novax?
It's a painting company. The union that I was.
So here's the deal. This guy has a rap sheet longer than a CVS receipt, but today's plea is simple. Please give me another second chance. The only problem. His past is full of second chances that ended with probation violations and more crimes. It's like asking for another slice of cake after eating the whole thing and saying you're still on a diet. The judge is listening, but his patience has an expiration date. Asterisk.
Not sure where it was, Your Honor.
Okay, so what did you find?
I found a duffel bag, a backpack with a checkbook in it, and the job site was empty because we're the last ones on the job. So it was basically just in a pile of sweaters and jackets. So I kept it. I kept the backpack. I kept it in the vehicle for a while. I probably sat on it a couple months, and rummaging through my stuff, I found it, and Basically, I was, at that time using. I had been released from jail, I believe,
So,
and I went back to the woman I told you about, to that house,
to what house?
to my address that I have.
Cliff, and you find this duffel bag full of checks of a company that's in Willoughby, right?
I don't know where the company's at. I can't even remember what
Okay,
it was.
So, and then the duffel bag sat in the car for a while?
Yeah.
Months? And
About a
then,
month or so.
and then you decide to do what? To take one of these checks? What did you do?
Yeah, I took one of the checks and signed it and made a withdrawal.
What do you mean you signed it? It was a blank check, right?
I put my name on it.
Okay.
Signed it to me.
So you signed it, paid to the order of you, filled into.
And here's where the cracks start showing. First, he says the checks came from a random duffel bag on a job site. Then, suddenly, he's not sure where he found them. Was it Fairview? Wycliffe? Midburg Heights? At this point, I'm expecting him to throw in Narnia as a possibility. If you're gonna lie in court, at least keep the story consistent, but this guy's plotline has more rewrites than a bad Hollywood script. Asterisk.
It's a check cashing place, I'm sure of. Nonetheless, it was foolish, Your Honor.
Who's Constance Wagner?
I believe that was probably another check I wrote.
Okay. Well, who's Constance Wagner?
I have no idea.
Why did you make out a check to Constance Wagner?
I was using the money to get the drugs, Your Honor.
I know. Why Constance Wagner?
I'm not sure.
Why did you make a check out to Dusty Mays?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Okay. Why don't you have a discussion with him, and he can decide if he wants to keep lying to me,
I mean, I don't know those.
or if he wants to be straight with me. Okay.
Understood, Your Honor.
Or when you went to wherever you went, and you presented a check made out to Constance Wagner. I assume they asked you, "Are you Constance Wagner?"
Yes, Your Honor. Yes,
And you
they did.
said, "Yes, I'm Constance Wagner."
Yes.
Why didn't you make the check out to like a male so they could probably see you're not a female when you walked in with the check?
Well, like I said, Your Honor, I wasn't in no shape or form. I was under the influence of drugs. I didn't even.
Oh, this is rich. He admits to walking into a check cashing place pretending to be Constance Wagner. Now, folks, I don't know about you, but if a full-grown man strolls in with a check made out to a 73-year-old woman and says, "Yep, that's me," that's not just fraud, that's Olympic-level stupidity. And the best part? He tries to blame it on being high. Because apparently drugs make you forget your gender now.
To two females, presented the checks to cash. Did you cash any of the checks?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'd probably, if I have this case, I'm sure they went through then.
You mean, so what you're telling me, you've done this so many times that you can't remember this one?
No, Your Honor, it's been quite some time that has passed, and I apologize.
It was a year ago. Okay. So you had these checks in your possession for a month, at least a month, right?
Yes.
It went from several months to a month.
And I know about the tech company is the checks that I had in my possession.
Right. That you found at some
Yes. During the course of me.
some building that was not in use when you were on a painting job.
Yes.
Okay. So presumably TKR Tech, whose checks they were, had been out a bunch of checks for at least a month, up to several months, and didn't report it until the day you walked in to try to cash it on July 20th of 23. That seems unlikely to me, that they would just be missing checks and not know they're missing
Well,
checks.
I believe that the people at the at the check.
Now we're in excuse territory. First it was, I thought it would only hurt my credit score. Then it became, Antonio Harris made me do it. And now we're hearing about a mystery dealer who magically connects him with the perfect partner in crime. I'm just waiting for the UFO abduction part of this story, because at this rate, it might actually sound more believable.
A friend,
Who?
Antonio Harris was his name.
Who's Antonio Harris?
He was the one that took me to the check cash.
I know, but he didn't just pluck you out of thin air and drive you to the check cashing place. So who is Antonio Harris?
He was somebody that I was in contact with that showed me where to cash the check.
Okay.
How
How were
cash the
you in
check.
contact with him?
To a drug dealer.
When did you get in contact with him?
Prior that month.
When you found the
Probably
checks?
a week before I cashed it.
Okay.
Probably a week or so before I attempted to cash it.
All right, well, so what'd you tell Antonio?
I'd give him money if he drove me. He told me I would be able to cash him there.
So Antonio's the one that directed it to Ace Cash Express?
Yeah. I didn't have a vehicle.
Where is Ace Cash Express?
I'm not sure.
Is it in Ohio somewhere?
Yes, yeah.
Is it in Cleveland
It's in
somewhere?
Cuyahoga, probably, or Painesville out here. I'm not sure.
So first you went to 185th, right? You know, this...
The judge has had enough. You can see it. The leaning back, the deep sigh, the look that says, my lunch is getting cold and you're still lying to my face. At this point, every new detail he adds just makes the hole deeper. He's not winning points for creativity either. It's like he's throwing darts at a wall of excuses hoping one will stick.
Strung out on drugs and desperate like I was.
Well, but
I wasn't making.
you didn't cash a check to get money for drugs, did you?
One of the checks, yes.
I thought you cashed it to get an earn.
I used some of the money, yes. My granddaughter at the time, during this, had passed away. And what led me to come across was I was digging around and I found that checkbook. And I found the checkbook and I asked how I could get money out of this, who would be able to help me with these checks. And I was led to Mr. Harris. And I cashed several checks, Your Honor. And the money I used for drugs and the money I did do something with, but I'm not making an excuse. I'm just telling you what happened. I was dealing with a woman I'd been involved with for 10 years, a drug-induced relationship solely out of convenience, trying to stay on.
These checks weren't found by you in a backpack in a building that was unoccupied. These checks were taken from the business. 3 checks were taken from the business. Care to elaborate how they were taken from the business?
That I don't know. That I don't know, Your Honor. I did find the tech company.
And here comes the hammer. The judge flat out tells him, not one word you've said is true. Boom, 12 months in prison, concurrent, with credit for 48 days. That's the kind of sentencing where the judge doesn't even linger. He drops it, stands up, and walks out like a mic drop. Cold. Efficient. Brutal. Exactly the kind of justice that scammers hate.
Months.
The tech company.
In the car, and then decided to cash them and called Harris to find out where you could cash them. Now you just found one of them, and Harris gave you the other 2.
Yeah. I had the tech companies, and that's how I was led into Mr. Harris, because that's what he was into.
What?
I had the company, the tech company, the TKR tech company. I had that checkbook. I wasn't sure on how to write checks or how to get money
You had
or
a
where to
check-
go.
You had a checkbook, is that what you said?
Yes,
There were 3 checks.
I didn't count the checks, Your Honor.
Oh, Jesus.
And by making the attempt of the TKR tech companies, that's how I was led to do it again.
I don't know what you mean by that.
I found somebody that could help me cash the check,
Mm-hmm.
the tech company, and show me where to go to cash it and how to cash
What do you
it.
mean the tech company? You found.
How to write
so,
the check.
So how did you know Harris had 2 checks from TK?
I didn't.
You didn't. It was just a coincidence that you found some and then he had some?
No,
And here's the cherry on top. Only after the sentencing does our scammer start mumbling about how he didn't know what else to say. Newsflash, the time to be honest was before the judge handed you a prison term, not after. This is the textbook definition of too little, too late. So, what do you think? Was this guy doomed from the start, or could the truth have saved him? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button if you enjoyed watching the judge dismantle him, and subscribe for more court moments that prove crime really doesn't pay.
you know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean.
And he gave me this guy's number to call him for a ride. I gave him a ride, and this is what the guy was into.
And
And
Harris
since
just
I was so willing to
and
cash,
Harris just happened to have 2 of these checks himself from TKR.
no,
You-
those
well,
were
you
in my
just told me
possession.
a couple
Those
minutes
were in
ago.
my possession. The TKRs were in my possession. The other
You-
checks
you-
that you're talking about, I don't